Sweet. Okay.
Are we
live? Go ahead and hit it. Sam, you're up.
All right. It still showed me the smoke. What's up, everyone? Sam, Backcountry Life. We have Richard and Logan, and also Logan's brother, who also was named Sam, moderating for us. So this is the crew from Backcountry Life.
Mine is Will. Will couldn't make it.
Might as well, yeah. So today, guys, we're doing something a little bit new. We're going to try out this live thing. We've got probably about 30 minutes planned, hopefully. We're going to talk about why Backcountry Life, why we're doing what we're doing, why this all started, a new company that these guys acquired, Snow Groomers. Talk about some things we're up to. Talk about things planned for the future, and Q&A at the end. We got some time, so don't want to take too much time.
But first, Logan, let's talk about the stash and the little Amigo Montoya look that's going on.
My name is Amigo Montoya.
I have not seen Logan in like 2 months, and this is kind of new for me. And did I see? Hold on, turn your head. Did I see something in the back there? What is that?
You might
see, Logan moves to Florida, and this is what we
get. This is what happens when you move to Florida.
Well, that's right. The beach life.
Nice. Looking good.
Hey, can everyone hear us? Who can we not hear Logan, Sam, or Rich? Because Alexander's saying that maybe some of our mics aren't good.
Oh, yeah.
Some echo. Getting a lot of echo.
Mike.
Let's see. Alexander, who's echoing? Who needs to be dropped? Someone's getting kicked off.
Probably me. Let's see. I could switch audios, maybe.
Yeah, there's an echo going.
Is it on the OBS? Is there double? Can you try and mute one of those? Test check, 1, 2.
That might have fixed it. That might have been me.
I think there was double audio being sent out.
Echo. Thanks, Gilberto. Is the echo still happening, guys? Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, first time. This is gonna be fun.
Using this software.
Test check, 1, 2. Hopefully.
Okay, so there's a delay on the YouTube. Thing. It was me, because I didn't have my headphones in. Rookie move. Sorry, guys.
Okay, all good now.
Okay, we're good.
Sweet.
Sweet. Sorry.
All right, Rich, give us a rundown of why we started Backcountry Life, and then Logan and I can add our 2 cents.
Okay, so why we started doing Backcountry Life, and we really want to talk and focus more on this because I think we all struggle with what we struggled with. It's like we love to get out and do outdoors things, and life just catches up to you. It's like when we were young, we did stuff all the time. We lived outdoors. Then I got married, had kids, got a career, had responsibilities, and my activities that were outside just slowly started dropping off. I no longer went hiking. I no longer dirt biked. I no longer did this. I no longer snowboarded, or only did it like once a year. And so it came to a point, I'm like, dude, this is so dumb. I love it, and it refreshes me and makes me a better person, really. And I'm not doing any of that. I'm not taking me time because I'm letting all this other responsibility, rule my life. So Backcountry Life was really a measured attempt to say, we are going out and doing more of what we love. We're going to do new things we've never tried before, and just get back to our childhood of just living outdoors and just say, screw it. We're going to go out and do fun things. So that really is the basis of why we're doing Backcountry Life, is it forces us to do it. It keeps us honest in doing it, as well as, this is what we love to do. So.
Yeah, absolutely. See, Rich and Logan, they didn't grow fat like I did, sitting in a cubicle working in corporate America for a long time. And that's the other part is as humans, like being able to get outside and recreate some fun things, and also to get out in nature is really, really important for your health. And so, like Rich said, just to echo that, we really wanted to go out and force ourselves, even though a lot of times it's not easy. It's you have to schedule the time, you have to force it, and just sometimes you get out there and you're like, what am I doing? I got so much going on. But if you don't go do that, you're not going to get out and be able to, connect with nature or go dirt bike and come back a better human when you, because you're so stressed before. But that's a great stress reliever.
Yeah. What do you have to add,
Absolutely.
Logan?
Yeah, no, that's exactly my thoughts. When we're out there, you're either on the trail, you're on a board, you're doing one of these activities. We say it all the time. You lose focus for a split second on the trail, and you're in the dirt, or you're in the snow, or whatever it is. And what's really nice about that is it allows your mind to, it kind of clears the mind. It's that getting that flow state we've talked about a couple times, but kind of level setting, getting back to, okay, what am I doing right here? You're not thinking about anything else, because you start thinking about emails or work or anything else, and again, you're just boom, it'll punish you real quick. So
Yeah, like
comment. Hey, those who are watching, comment below. Can you guys relate to our experience?
Yeah, dirt bike and ice hockey says. Actually, he's hopping off to eat, but he said like swimming with sharks. So one of our videos we recently did, I went swimming with sharks. So we went to Hawaii, and a local guy's like, dude, you need to go swim with sharks, like, and call this random dude. So we went and called him. But it's like, it was nerve wracking, and it was a little bit stressful, especially when I'm standing there and you see the shark fins coming up out of the water before you get in. And the guy's like, yeah, you're good, get in. And I'm like, okay. But that's a good example of too often, the older we get, the less we do things like that, where we take less and less risk. We get out of our comfort zones less and less. We try new things less and less. And part of my, like, what brings me joy and helps me like live my life to the fullest is trying new random stupid crap. Sometimes I like dirt biking, I probably look like an idiot half the time, but that's okay. You just got to go out and do it. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, Richard's like, yeah, I just found a random loco in Hawaii that would take us out with some other random dude on a boat and be like, get in with the sharks. Dude, I don't know.
He said he was a marine biologist and said all the sharks were nice. So I was like, okay.
And we never see Richard again. Like that. Those are the kind of ventures Richard likes to go on.
My wife did not get in the water. She stayed in the boat.
Well, it's like when that big shark turned towards you, my kids were like screaming, like they thought you were going to die.
That was a scary moment. Like a shark comes like straight at you in open water. I was like, what do I do? But I was fine.
So speaking of these activities that we're doing, what are you two doing with this new company? You guys started a new company or took over a company. Explain what's going on. What's going on?
Yeah.
With that?
So the backstory on that, Richard owns another company, software company as well, but I actually lost my job. Go ahead.
Before you get into that, Sam. So like we haven't been posting as much recently because we have been in a funk because we've been having to focus and do some stuff with this new company. So
we're overworked.
I know we're getting fat and lazy again. We need to get out and ride more. So anyways, go Sam.
Yeah. So in 2019, in the fall, I lost my job in corporate America. And so as I'm sure some of you guys can relate, that's always a stressful situation. And the next thing was like, well, what do we do? So, talking with Rich and Logan and also a couple other people, we kind of figured like, well, let's try to figure out how to, build some businesses, make a little bit more money so that I don't have to go back and find a real job, So in lieu to that, like Rich and I and Logan are way into winter sports. Obviously, you know, we do a lot of snowboarding stuff, which doesn't really get any views. It's kind of not our niche with YouTube. For whatever reason, dirt bikes kind of shows up better. But we love to play in the snow. So part of that is years and years ago, we bought, I think 7 or 8 years ago, we bought this ultralight compact snow groomer that you tow behind like a snowmobile or a tracked UTV. And we did it to groom our trail up to our ski runs for our kids and just better experience. And man, it changed our lives, so to speak. We loved it. At least I did. I loved it. And I loved getting out there and grooming and laying down perfect corduroy. So I actually called the founder of the company, his name's Rick, and asked him if I could help him with some of his sales and marketing, because that's kind of where my experience is. And he's in his 70s, and he's kind of old school, and was basically like, no, I'm getting old. I want to retire, so I want to sell the company. And so Rich and I looked into it and thought it was a good idea, and we ended up buying the company from him. And I think that was a year ago and a month, I think. So it was last February.
Yeah.
So what happened with that is we jumped in with both feet and really worked really hard to make that a go. And you know, it's been a crazy wild ride. But so I apologize. Our content for Backcountry Life hasn't been as good as we'd like, and we haven't been focused on that because we're just trying to make snow groomers be a success.
Yeah, we set it up. We were good to go with snow groomers, and it just went wild this year. Like grew a ridiculous amount. So it really was all hands on deck, which is an awesome problem to have, right? But so we're not complaining. But it did take away from our dirt biking and riding as much. Luckily, sadly, this winter was the perfect year for dirt biking because in Utah it was a pretty mild winter. So. But yeah, didn't get out as much as we want. We got a couple of good runs in snowboarding, so that was good. Got skunked. We did our annual heli trip and got skunked on that.
Yeah, we literally just got a scary helicopter ride.
That was the
Telluride. That was terrifying.
Yeah, like so we show up in Telluride, perfect day, Bluebird day. They'd just gotten a couple feet of new POW. And we hop in the helicopter, we're all stoked, and they're like, we're a green light to go. So we fly up, and as soon as we get up to it's probably like 10,000 feet. It was in Telluride, it's higher mountains up there.
I actually think almost 12,000 feet.
Actually, you're probably right. Once we kind of got up in the high peaks, it was so windy. Like, I do not get sick very easily, like car sick. And the helicopter was dropping, and so... He tried to find some good spots, but we just turned around and went back home because he's like, there's no way I'm landing this sucker in this wind. And then afterwards, Aaron and Sam were like, dude, should we go ride Telluride the resort? And I was like, I'm going home to lay down. I feel so sick. It was such a sketchy helicopter ride. It was so bad.
Yeah, we, as little kids, we were always wanting to, you know, because where we grew up, I think someone just tried to. Sorry, guys. My kid's trying to call me, and it went onto my computer. But anyway, we as kids, we always wanted to ride to the very top of every peak, and we just had to hike back then. And so now we save our money every year and try to make a cool trip. But
yeah, one big trip a year is our goal. So, but this year we got skunked. It was a little depressing, but that's okay. Next year. So
yeah, well, I think this is the first year in a decade or so that I haven't ridden a snowboard. So I'll, you guys getting skunked on one trip,
You've been doing, what have you been doing in Florida, dude? You've been doing, skimming or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I've got, I got a skimboard, never skimboard before in my life. It's just a thin piece of like plywood or I don't know, fiberboard or something, that's got a slick bottom. It's more rounded than a skateboard. But it's fun. It's not, you don't go very far. So you kind of run, throw it down and kind of slide on it, kind of slick like which is cool. Haven't got a surfboard yet. That's the next one.
Dude, surfing just sounds miserable.
A lot of work with a lot
of work. I feel like I swim for 30 minutes for a 30-second ride.
Well, especially compared to like wakeboarding.
This is brutal.
We're used to wakeboarding and snowboarding, where you get a long ride.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
So what's going on in the dirt biking realm? Because we have some plans there. So we did buy a new bike. We've talked a little bit about that. Sam's gotten out on a little bit. What are your first impressions of that 300?
Yeah, so we picked up a 2020 KTM 300 XEW TPI after we gave away my favorite dirt bike, my 250 XE. I'm a little bit sad about that. So I've got it set up to where it's more of a in-between bike. So I like bikes that can go fast in the desert. So it's a little bit stiffer, but honestly, so far it's been really good. I think the changes they made in 2020 to the XEW platform makes it a really good bike. Obviously more on that. I've ridden it a handful of times, and so we'll do a full review and give you our 2 cents as average dirt bike wannabes. But
I'm thinking I'm pretty excited. I might sell my 250 Honda and take over the 300, dude. Make you go get a 250. I like that 300 a lot. Like I think I want to get my hands on that stuff because I love Logan. So I'm more of a beginner rider. So actually, I've really enjoyed my Honda because it's a pretty just
mellow.
It's a mellow bike. I don't know. I really like
a snap still though.
Yeah. And I'm a taller dude, so I fit better. Because like on Logan's Beta, what is that? A 200 2-stroke?
200.
Yeah.
It's
small.
That bike was just a little too small for me. I loved the motor, but it was just I felt cramped on it, So the 300 I think will ride more like the 200, right?
So it'll have a larger frame, so it'll feel closer to your Honda as far as the chassis is concerned. The Betas do have a lower seat height, which is great for really technical stuff, or someone that's maybe more vertically challenged. Like I can do pivot turns on the Beta way easier just because I can plant my foot easier. But like to echo Richard, that Beta 200, its 2-stroke motor is probably one of my favorite 2-stroke motors. It's awesome.
I love that motor. Do they have one that comes with it's like a little bit bigger size, or what would be a comparable bike?
So Beta does make a 300 2-stroke that's based more off a motocross platform.
Yeah,
but it's for motocross. So the XC models are closer to, like KTMs are closer to the motocross bike than the Betas. But the Beta's really a hard enduro. That's what they do. That's their, that's their niche. So I know they're pushing. I think it's still a family-owned business, and so they're pushing really hard to kind of make a go and be the next KTM, so to speak. So I'm excited to see what.
Just hope they don't sell out to KTM.
Everyone is, but
rebranded KTM.
Well, the 300X.
Sam, what are you doing? Are you playing with your nipples?
No, I have. I'm sorry, guys.
Got the buttons.
The buttons. It's just you never know what I'm doing. Here. So I have stuff in the garage, but no, go. I think you'll like the 300 because you can upshift it, and it'll feel.
You haven't ridden the 300, right, Logan? Yet.
No, I haven't even seen it. I mean, other than the pictures you guys have sent me, I haven't even seen the 300.
And most importantly, with the 300, we got a new graphics kit on it. Is that it behind you? No, that's the.
That's my Beta. He did that as torture to me.
I did that. You need to come out. The battery's probably dead.
So Sam you did a pretty cool trip down to St. George. Did some riding. Have we published any of that footage yet?
No.
So
we haven't. I have it all. That was a crazy ride, but I actually Gilberto. I hope I pronounced that right. He says he rides out by Dell. I actually been riding out there with my boy a bunch because it's close and there's no snow. But we that's when I took your truck out, Richard, and got it super muddy. Because
Sam borrowed my truck and he cleaned it, but then I was noticing, I'm like, there's this weird thick mud in random spots. Now, I'm like, where did that? I was like, where did this come from? And then finally, Sam was telling me a story about how he was like, what was it? Your bike, Milo's bike died or something?
Yeah, we got so much mud on it, overheated, and we had to be back for something, so I didn't have time. So I threw him on with me to mess with the bike, and so I went and got the truck. But then I took a different a path out there and got sucked into thinking that the salt flat areas were going to be dry enough. No.
Yeah. Okay. So Sam's telling me this story, and I'm like, huh. And it's like a bell starts clicking or ringing in my head. I'm like, is that why there's all that weird mud all over, like in random spots in my truck?
On the top of his roof. And I was like, crud.
Oh, God.
Mud
times. But
yeah,
dude, out in St. George, one of the guys you were with, he like almost died.
Yeah, so one of my buddies who's a lot better dirt bike rider than me, I don't want to mention his name because just out of fairness to him, but we were going up the Dinosaur Track Trail. If those that know where that is in Warner Valley is, that's normally more of a downhill trail, but of course we decided to go up it, and he went first and got more traction on a section than he thought, and he tried to save it, but his bike bounced off and started going off a 20-foot cliff, and so he jumped off. But before he could jump off, the peg caught his leg and pulled him off. And so he went off a 20-plus foot cliff head first into a pile of rocks and just smashed the crap out of his helmet. And then him and the bike fell another probably 10 feet further down the hill, and the bike landed on top of him. So, of course, when us seeing that, our first thought is he's going to get life flighted out. We ran over there. Yeah, and he was, sat there for a little bit. We were hoping nothing was broke. And anyways, turns out he rode his dirt bike out, and then the next day we rode all day. So after we fixed his bike.
Wear your helmet, kids. Wear your helmet.
Helmets
Didn't his helmet just like shatter?
Yeah, we had to go buy him a brand new helmet. It was bad.
Yeah, you sent me the video, the pictures or whatever it was of the helmet, and I was, oh my gosh, that brings back, because I used to be big into downhill mountain biking, and broke my arm downhill mountain biking, and I remember I picked up they showed me my helmet afterwards, and it was just shattered, just in pieces, and that brought back some really really strong memories of that when you sent me that video, the pictures of his helmet.
Seriously. So the other part of this live is, other than just me, Rich, and Logan hanging out telling stories, is we want, the people that watch what we do to, help inspire us to continue to go and do these adventures. But we also want feedback. So is there, trips that you think we should do, places we should go? Is there products do you think we should review? Things we should talk about. We have
input on whether I should take the 300 from Sam, or is there a different bike I should be checking out?
Yeah,
should we force Sam back onto a 250? The problem is can you even buy a 250 right now?
It's like
nuts trying. Well, no, I'm talking about for you, a new two-stroke KTM. If I like that 300, I just feel like trying to buy bikes right now is kind of crazy.
It is totally crazy. It's insane with the supply and demand issues they've had, plus everyone getting extra money in their bank account if they didn't ask for it. But and the other thing that we've thought about is trying to come up with creative ideas to have topics and talk about on different lives. Between the three of us, we have, we joke that we have some expertise. Like Richard's ran his own business in the software space for over 10 years. And Logan's experience with technology and all of that, he's got 10 plus years as well. And, you know, we are hustlers, we're entrepreneurs. So we could always talk about kind of all that stuff, and then rope in, you know, the lifestyle things we want to do, which is, you know, backcountry adventures and hiking and camping and dirt biking and hunting and or any crazy stuff that Richard does, like swimming with sharks. But we want you guys to comment below to kind of help us steer in what direction you think we should go in. We would love your feedback. Like we said, we don't do this just because we want to be in the spotlight. In fact, it's a ton of work. And to go out and film and stuff, we do it to really to get ourselves outside. That's the biggest thing. It's just kind of saying, hey, let's go make this happen. And the other part is we're hopefully going to inspire some people to get out and, you know, make the same thing happen, force themselves to go out and do those things they love outside to get into that flow state. So
I want to re-emphasize that. Like if we could accomplish one thing with doing this channel and putting in the work to do it, is if we could, you know, the adventures we go on, you know, is awesome. But more importantly, it's like, we hope that we can encourage other people to go out and get out of their office, take some me time and go whatever it is. It doesn't need to be dirt biking or snowboarding. It could be frisbee golf or, I don't know, surfing, I guess. Just kidding. You know, whatever it is.
And the point too, because we've taken, people have come with us on trips. We've taken them on, you know, different adventures or whatever, dirt biking, snowboarding, you know, different things. And they'll say, wow, you guys have the craziest stories, or you guys do the craziest things, or this was the funnest adventure. This was so good. This is what I needed, you know, those kind of things. And that's kind of the point, is we want to share that. We can't take everybody out all at the same time, but in our own little way with this channel and the videos. And
we took a friend from the channel that knows us, you know, online. He was in Utah for snowboarding. Sam and I took him up to Brighton and showed him all the good stuff in Brighton. He said, correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, but he said that was the best tree day he's ever had ever for snowboarding.
Yes,
he was like so stoked.
What was your best tree day you've ever had? Yeah, that's exactly right.
I mean, yeah.
And ultimately, you know, it's like we haven't done a very good job of telling our story of why we do things. So we want to implement that more and kind of give you a little bit more inside access to kind of our lives and why we do what we do. So I know Gilberto asked a question. You know, he said the factory Sherco 300.
Sherco
Are you talking
300.
300 two-stroke or 300 four-stroke? I've ridden them both, but that was years ago. But yeah, those are sweet bikes. Sherco, I'm really excited to see what Sherco can do as well.
They're not owned by KTM, are they?
Not yet, no. So so Gas and Husqvarna or Husqvarna, I don't even know how you say it. Sorry, we're American.
Husky.
We don't Husky and KTM are basically the KTM brands, and so far Sherco and Beta have not been bought out from the juggernaut. So yeah, and we've thought, you know, the other thing with Richard's bike is Honda CR 250 RX. It's a solid bike, but you know, we want to try something different. And it would be cool if we could collectively get people to basically say, hey, we want you guys to go get this bike and then go ride it, whatever that is, like the Sherco, Gilberto says two-stroke, yeah, and go out and just see what we think. Because the other thing is like we said, we have for dirt biking and even in snowboarding and other things, like Richard's a beginner in dirt biking, Logan's an intermediate. I would say I'm intermediate to advanced, but then we have another guy that's on the channel a lot. His name Will. Will is expert level. He could be pro if he wanted. Like he's
my favorite story of it,
here compared to us.
So we were riding 5 miles. So Will spent all this time at the track. So he hasn't ridden tons of technical single track or enduro. So we go out and ride 5 miles of hell, and you can go back. You know, this video is posted. And so we get to the crux. He doesn't even look at it, and we just say, "Dude, just go up this way and just make sure you have plenty of speed." He just bombs it up the crux first try and just nails it. And I'm like, "What?" It was so cool. I'm like, "No way."
and he's never ridden hard enduro. He's never ridden that trail. He doesn't ride single
It was
track.
so awesome. That was one of those moments. I was like, "Oh, dude, you just nailed that."
Some people just have the talent. We don't,
So good.
but Will does. And so we have, what we want to do with all of our bikes that we get is, test it on a motocross track, test it on single track, test it on out in the desert, and then kind of give you here's what this bike's good at. Here's what this bike is not good at. Because the problem is most of us can only have one dirt bike, right? So you want to make sure that you make the best decision for what's right for you, because not everyone wants a fire-breathing dragon. No, not everybody wants a two-stroke. Not everybody wants a four-stroke. So that's something that we want to go through to kind of give our 2 cents. Like I said, we just like to be outside and dirt bike and camp and whatever. So
what's next? So what do we have on the plan? Obviously, that's our kind of long term. What's coming up next week?
Tomorrow, Sam and I are going snowmobiling.
And this great snow that we have. It's
so
last
bad.
time, I don't want to take my hat off so you guys see my bad hair, but I got home and I was sunburnt here because wearing a beanie, and I should wear sunscreen because I'm a white kid. But anyway, so what's next? Next live, we could talk about kind of what our spring plans are. Like, we'll go more in detail with talking about what the dirt bikes, what dirt bikes we have, what we're thinking. Obviously, if you guys want to give us some input, we're welcome to that as well. Also, when is Logan going to come out and ride this bike that's sitting here that has like 8 hours, 10 hours on it?
So sad. It's such a good bike. And you got it all fixed up? We had a little bit of issues with it initially.
Yeah, and that's something we could go over and talk about, because
we definitely need to talk more about that beta.
Yeah, and I think people don't realize. Yeah, I don't want to give it away, but maybe that's what we talk about in depth, is the beta story.
Nice. What about you, Rich? What else you got?
I'm staying home for like 2 weeks. My wife really likes to travel, and so we got shut down because of COVID for a while for traveling. We camped a lot, which was fun, but so it's been opening up recently. So we were gone like every week. I went to Costa Rica, Mexico, Hawaii, Colorado. I don't know, like 1 or 2 other spots, but it's fun. But I'm like, I got to work sometime, and I want to get out and go do some other stuff. So I'm staying home for the next.
Staying home, exactly.
Staying home.
The relaxing. I like it.
Yeah. And so I think we're going to try to do a YouTube live every single week. Sometimes life will happen and we won't be able to do that. And if you guys don't comment of what you want us to talk about, you're just going to get me and Rich and Logan just talking about whatever the crap we want, which is fine with us. We love it. This is just an excuse for us to get together and chat more, but we would love you guys to steer some of that conversation as well. So
awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. If you have any questions or comments, or, please let us know. We would love to get input of where you want us to go with some of this stuff. So awesome. Anything else?
All right. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. If you guys aren't subscribed, it really helps us out. And side note, we would love to continue to build Backcountry Life to hopefully make it into something where it pays us a little bit of money. And so that we can have this as another one of our side hustles. So
this is our secretly, we want to make this our full-time job.
Who wouldn't? Like,
yeah,
big plans.
Like,
I'm
guys,
quitting everything else.
And that way I don't have to get paid to touch my nipples anymore. I
mean,
and maybe then we could actually take more people out and actually do those things.
That would be fun.
Yeah, we actually have some really cool stuff that we have ideas on that could really be huge. So, yeah, guys.
Mountain property to do some fun things out. That's actually where we're going snowmobiling tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to look at this huge canyon that in the middle of winter to see if it's worth buying or not. So,
Awesome. Cool. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thanks for watching,
Thanks
everybody.
for watching. Yep. See ya.